in a world awash in chaos.
What is Walking Phoenix?
Joaquin Phoenix? What is Joaquin Phoenix?
Or whatever you said.
It's a man.
Oh.
His name is Joaquin Phoenix. Okay. What the fuck?
Jupiter.
Uranus.
A group of brave heroes take on all things action.
Season 3! Hello, everybody! Welcome to All Things Action Videocast. I'm Dad, a.k.a. Aaron. I don't know why I'm talking like that again. Do you?
No, you have done that,
I know.
think, like last season.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to be cool. It didn't work, did it?
Yeah.
Who are you?
I am Raiden, a.k.a. the bear.
That's right. He's usually with me, so I like having you around, buddy. How's it going?
It's going.
You look different.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, I got my cast off, by the way.
Oh, snap. A regular arm again.
But I do have a little scar.
Yeah, just a little, like, quarter-inch scar. Not too bad, right?
And it also looks like an H.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah. You need to talk in the microphone because we got these microphones again, remember?
Yeah. We
Yeah.
have always had them, Dad.
No, well, for this season we have.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, exciting stuff, right?
Right.
We've got our 6 topics. We're ready to go. We're going to keep this one hopefully relatively short and sweet. Obviously, we'll get to one topic that Raiden will probably want to talk about more than any others just because it was a big weekend. And are you ready to get rolling?
Yes.
All right. Excuse me. The first one we'll talk about, Raiden, is space. So, Raiden, something exciting happened this last week in space, and the Curiosity rover finally punched a hole down into Mars's soil. So there is a man-made, technically, it's a robot, but man made the robot, hole on Mars. And the Curiosity rover landed in 2011, so it's been a long time. They initially said that that's what that thing was going to do, was drill down into the soil and see what they could come up with. Now they finally have done it. So who knows what this will mean going forward, if they find anything inside of the sample that they took. Maybe they find white water down there. Who knows? Are you excited about that?
Yeah, like Africa.
Yeah, like Africa. So who knows? Who knows what they'll find from drilling into Mars? But it's been a long time coming. Pretty exciting, right?
Yeah.
What else? You just read something.
SpaceX's, I meant to say, Falcon Super Heavy rocket.
Mm-hmm.
Another rocket that Elon Musk is gonna go is Elon Musk wants to launch it at NASA's Kennedy Space Center.
Yeah, in Florida. Yeah.
Which to me just seems like an absolutely just like,
Well, most launches happen actually at Kennedy Space Center. It's set up for that. It's literally the place to shoot off a rocket into because it's in Florida. You don't have to worry about if the rocket goes awry. Florida's surrounded on 3 sides by water, right?
So it's a peninsula.
Correct. So you've got a lot of room for error there if something were to go wrong.
Yeah.
If you were to launch it, let's say in Nebraska, that thing could come down in, Oklahoma and could be devastating. But if a rocket goes up into space and winds up out in the ocean, it minimizes the loss of life, which is good. So,
yeah, but that could cause a tsunami.
Yeah, it could.
If there's enough
force,
it could.
But now I think what you're kind of getting at is not necessarily that where it's launching, but the fact that it's delayed, right?
Yeah.
They're delaying it until Wednesday. So
until the day we put this out, I think.
Right. So, it's that happens all the time. NASA has to scrap or scrub missions on certain days because of weather. It's just something they're going to have to work with. And hopefully
SpaceX, Dad,
Yeah.
not NASA.
I know, but what I'm saying is this isn't anything new.
Yeah.
It's just they're going to have to wait a couple of days extra instead of sending it when they wanted to send it, which is fine.
Wait, I have a question. Does SpaceX have to have verbal consent from NASA to do that?
To do what?
To launch there?
Yes. They probably have to have more than verbal consent. I would assume so. Raiden, you ready to move on?
Sure.
All right, let's go on to TV. Raiden, I know you don't watch this because you're too young, but I thought I'd bring it up. The Walking Dead just closed out their season 9, and they decided to say that they will have a third Walking Dead TV show on AMC in 2020. So you'll have The Walking Dead, you'll have Fear the Walking Dead, and then Untitled Walking Dead show number 3.
As of right now, it's untitled, but
Yeah.
they will title it sometime.
So the reason why I bring this up is because obviously Kyle and I talked ad nauseum over the last 3 seasons about kind of the woes of the show, and it has been confirmed that The Walking Dead, the season finale for season 9, was the lowest season finale rating of all 9 seasons. So it's not going out with a bang. It's going out with a whisper, and it's one of those things where they're probably never going to be able to salvage what the chain reaction that they've started on The Walking Dead, especially if they follow the Whisperer's storyline from the comic books all the way through. Most people will be turned off very, very soon, and just because everybody's invested in main characters. And the Fear of the Walking Dead hasn't really taken off. I mean, it never got quite the mass appeal of the actual Walking Dead show. Now, the third one, who knows what they'll plan on doing, if this is going to be a spin-off of the Whisperers leading up into. They've talked about, I've seen articles saying that the Whisperers will actually tie into Fear the Walking Dead this next season. So who knows what's going on with it. I'm sure they have big plans, but I feel like they probably should have struck while the iron was hot and did this maybe in season 3 of The Walking Dead instead of season 4 of Fear the Walking Dead. Just because too much time has gone by and the frenzy of this franchise is over. It's kind of like AMC saying that they want to do a Breaking Bad movie. Great. The nostalgia factor will be there, but it's really not going to bring in a whole lot of new audience. You ready to move on? So you can do some talking, dude?
Sure.
All right, let's move on to movies. So Raiden, Shazam opened up over the weekend to a very strong box office. We're talking $53 million in the first weekend.
Is that dollars or people?
$53 million.
Wow.
So
Is that bigger than Aquaman?
I don't believe so. I think Aquaman had a bigger one, but
I bet it's because Jason Momoa, because the ladies cannot stop talking and stuff about Jason Momoa.
Yeah. If you grew a beard, you might look like Jason Momoa. Then the ladies wouldn't stop talking about you.
And actually have some muscles, yeah.
Yeah, well, you'll get there. So we haven't seen Shazam yet, but I'm hoping that we'll see it very, very soon. It looks great, and it sounds like all signs are pointing to DC is just going to embrace the standalone movie thing for a while and kind of build up from here. And then when the time's right, they will start to venture into connecting the DC extended universe. I can't wait to see how that looks. I'm excited about the prospect of what they have coming up. The Joker trailer looks absolutely incredible. It looks like no other movie that I think I've ever seen before, at least in a comic book movie. So I'm very excited about that. What do you think of the Joker trailer?
I thought it was weird to me.
Yeah.
But
I feel like it's definitely going to be for an older audience. Like you might not even like that movie.
I might, but
Yeah, and you might.
But
Depends on what they bring it out as. If it's rated R, then you'll probably have to wait till it comes out, to home distribution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, I
So, yeah.
think Shazam is gonna do good to everyone
Yeah.
because Shazam does lots of the kid and when he says it.
Yeah. Billy Baston.
Yeah. It's just all around funny the trailer sometimes.
Right. No, and that's it looks like a
when
very
when that kid said his name is Mr. Sparklefingers.
yeah.
With
It's like, no, it's not. Yeah, it'll be good to see. Haven't heard too much about it, so I'm glad that it's not being spoiled at all. Hellboy opens up this next weekend, so hopefully that does really well too, and they can kind of keep building that franchise up as well. I'm still not sure why they didn't just stick with Ron Perlman and have Guillermo del Toro continue to helm that, but to each their own. Hopefully this iteration is just as good as the first two. I loved Hellboy and Hellboy the Golden Army, and this one looks like it's going to be a fun ride too. It's going to stick to the nature of the comics, which I always love. And Raiden, speaking of comics, let's move on to the comics. And I thought this would be a good tie-in for what we just talked about with Shazam. So I looked online, and MoviePhone.com posted 8 comics to read after seeing Shazam. Now, I'll say this right now. I've only maybe read one of these comics. So I'll have to also go back and start to read these. Shazam has never really been a comic that I've ever really gotten into. I always felt personally, and maybe this movie will change things for me, Shazam was a knockoff of Superman. Just from a different perspective. Obviously, a superhero inhabits a youth's body, and so that there's a difference there. But I always felt like, Shazam was like Superman light, and
I don't understand that because Superman and Shazam they do have some things in common.
Yeah.
They have the cape. They have
muscles.
powers.
They've got a single signature on their chest. They look very similar.
Because Shazam has that lightning bolt, and Superman has that triangle thing.
Mm-hmm, the diamond with the S inside of it.
Yeah. With the S on his chest.
Yeah, and Superman has a blue suit with red trunks. Shazam has a red suit with yellow trunks. I've always just kind of felt like it's kind of like one and the same. So I didn't really give too much credence to reading the books. I have read books with Shazam in them, but I've never really actively sought out Shazam only books. But these are the 8 that MoviePhone says that you should probably read if you're trying to get a little bit of background and maybe trying to get ready for the next Shazam movie. And then obviously the Black Adam movie that's going to be starting to film here within the next year. So Shazam Origins is number 1. Justice League: The Dark Side War is number 2. The Power of Shazam is number 3. Superman Shazam: The First Thunder, that's another one. Shazam: The Monster Society of Evil. And then the last 3 are Black Adam: The Dark Age, which I think I've read a little bit of that. Very good one. The Trials of Shazam, and then, of course, probably the one that's most commercially successful or recognized is Kingdom Come. It's a very gritty, real take on superheroes just in general in the Justice League.
Kingdom Come. What
Kingdom
is that?
Come. It's kind of like Watchmen, but it's Justice League. So
to me, that sounds like a song.
Yeah.
Kingdom Come.
Keep singing. You don't have any more lyrics?
No.
You can't make them up on the fly?
Not really.
Like, when you're Shazam and you need a friend, you need to Kingdom come. That was pretty good.
That was.
Beautiful. Oh, man. So,
anyways.
So check those 8 comics out, if you will. Raiden, do you want to go to gaming or do you want to go to wrestling next? Should we get gaming out of the way and end with wrestling?
Yes.
All right.
I think we should do gaming because it will take a little less time than see who was
Sure.
correct with.
Okay. So go ahead,
WrestleMania.
Raiden. Tell us what's going on in gaming.
So Fortnite has a World Cup, and also, if you haven't heard of this, Fortnite, or you don't play Fortnite, Fortnite has a new explosive bow and arrow.
Okay.
But this one kind of makes people angry because people think it should be like the crossbows where it has infinite ammo, but
Yeah.
for some weird reason, it takes shotgun ammo. But it's a bow.
Well, I mean, you got to have some sort of ammo. You can't just create a brand new ammo, right?
Well, that's the point with the whole infinite ammo. Like the crossbow, like the hunter field and the cupid and the original crossbow.
Okay.
Those all had infinite ammo and had their own ammo,
Yeah.
but it was infinite.
Mm-hmm. Took time for it to load up, though, right?
Yeah, but
yeah. Where this is more like you pull,
you
you
pull
pull.
No, you pull it, you go that, and it takes like a second, I think.
Yeah.
So I think personally, I'm fine with having it be shotgun ammo. It just kind of is weird to me.
So we play another game called Gears of War that has something called a torque bow. And
It's
you
exactly like that.
But you think that the torque bow would be even more fun because when you shoot somebody, it sticks to them. Yeah, it's
But
like
this-
it's like a real arrow.
Yeah.
And if they start running around, the thing will explode on them, right?
Yeah, but this one, just if you shoot it, it does. I don't think it connects to them.
No,
like this one.
it's just an impact, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it does do damage.
Yeah.
If the person's just standing there and
You need
shoot
to you need to sit up.
If the person is just standing there and you shoot it,
Yeah.
it'll blast them, but it also will do a little bit damage.
So let's talk about if people are interested and they're really good at this game, Fortnite, what should they sign up for?
The World Cup.
The World Cup. It happens in July. Tell us a little bit about the high points of the World Cup. It's
Well-
like the best Fortnite players in the world can play in World Cup, right?
Yes.
And what's on the line?
On the line is $1 million worth of prizes in Fortnite.
Damn. That's kind of weird, though. How would you spend $1 million inside of the Fortnite game?
No, they would give you stuff that would be like a lot of stuff that would cost you $1 million.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what would you like if you had $1 million V-Bucks? What would you spend it on?
Probably some people would spend it on item shop things.
Yeah, but what would you spend it on?
I would probably spend it on a few item shop things, and maybe at the end of this season, I may, if I have that many V-Bucks,
Yeah.
I might just get the next season's battle pass.
Yeah.
So it might, and plus Fortnite is maybe going downhill from here because they have the volcano.
Okay.
So, and who knows what's gonna happen, because I bet at the end of the season there's gonna be a huge event where the dragon eggs hatch and the Fire King rides around them and melts every snow thing, even the iceberg.
Okay.
The iceberg is called Polar Peak.
Wow.
And who knows what's going to happen to the castle and happen to Greasy Grove. Maybe they were out swimming.
You heard it here first. Wow, you heard it here first, folks. That's Raiden's take on what's going to happen with Fortnite next. Raiden, should we get out of here with our last topic?
Sure.
Last topic in wrestling. Obviously, over the weekend, WrestleMania took place. What, 35? WrestleMania 35? Is that what it was?
You said that last episode, yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for correcting me. WrestleMania 35. Raiden, we did our predictions. You rewatched the show. How were we on predictions?
Well, who did you say? Do you remember?
What?
For the Ronda, Becky, and Charlotte.
I said Becky.
You are correct on that one.
Were you correct? You said Ronda, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I said Finn for the Intercontinental Championship, and that was right.
That was correct. Awesome.
But if you didn't know what entirely happened with that match, Bobby Lashley wasn't expecting Finn Balor's demon.
Yeah, he came out as his demon persona. Yeah. Very cool. And so the demon just whooped his ass, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. He actually picked him up and powerbombed him, which was
What?
crazy. Yeah. Finn Balor powerbombed Bobby Lashley. Yeah. Crazy, right?
I guess that's what you can do with muscles and
Demon strength.
pretty much having a demon strength.
Yep. So what about the Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar one? Who did you say?
I said Seth.
Okay. I think I said Brock.
Yeah, and I'm correct on that one too.
Yep. So that's pretty good. And Kofi Kingston versus Daniel Bryan.
Kofi
I think both
won.
of us said Kofi, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Baron Corbin versus Kurt Angle in his retirement match. You were all about Kurt Angle winning, and I told you that's usually not how they do it. And so Dad was right on that one, right? Baron Corbin won.
Yes, which is so stupid to me.
Well, that's just how they do it. So, who else? Which other matches were there that were like significant? I don't really know if I found out if Tony Nese or Buddy, whatever his name is,
Buddy Murphy.
Yeah, Buddy Murphy. I don't know who won that one.
Me either.
Who won the titles for tag titles? So the Usos were winners, right?
Yeah, but
we didn't even have that one down at the time. They announced that after we had already made the last one. And
yeah, it was on.
And then
Tuesday.
on the other side.
And then on the other side, Kurt Hawkins.
Yeah, Hawkins and the other guy won, and I didn't even know they were going to be part of that match. So it's weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so obviously.
Well, the Revival had to have an opponent, so.
Yeah, obviously we did pretty well on our predictions overall.
Yeah.
I think the interesting thing to me was that this WrestleMania didn't seem like it had a whole lot of like extra fanfare like it normally does.
Fanfare, what is that?
It means like extra surprises and stuff like that. Like everybody was speculating different things, like John Cena came back and he rolled out the John Cena Thugonomics version from like 2008, and
he did stuff to
Elias.
Elias.
But no Undertaker. Undertaker came out on Raw, but he wasn't at WrestleMania, which was crazy, and so a lot of things that we're used to weren't really there,
Here's what I'm gonna say: if you don't want Raw, if you don't want Raw, and you're a WWE fan, but you only like SmackDown, let me tell you what happened on Raw, just so you don't need to do it. Watch it.
Okay.
Well, Elias was going to do his WrestleMania performance since the Dr. Thugonomics, John Cena, came out. He was going to do that on Monday night, but he didn't get to because he said, the next person who interrupts me is a dead man. But then The Undertaker came out.
And his nickname is the Dead Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So That was kind of cool.
And Elias tried to fight him, but
Yeah, got his ass kicked.
yeah, and
Tombstone pile driver and a choke slam, right?
yeah, and there was no F, so it wasn't actually a match.
Yeah.
But the crowd was going 1, 2, 3, and then they were doing like the F with the ding
Yeah.
ding ding
Yep.
thing.
So, WrestleMania is done and over with. The biggest show for WWE is over with. The
Yeah,
next thing we're
now
going.
it's Superstar Shake-Up.
Yeah, Superstar Shakeup.
Who
So
knows?
the rosters
where
will kind of move
the
around.
Rosters, the superstars will land.
Yeah,
That's the exact quote thing for
from the commercial. Yeah,
Superstar Shake-Up.
yeah. So they'll be moving them around. They used to call that the Raw and SmackDown draft, where they actually would come out and draft people. I always thought that was kind of cool, but a lot of people thought that was hokey for some reason. So the next big thing to look forward to in wrestling, and AEW is getting ready for this, is Double or Nothing, their pay-per-view that's coming out in May. And so the roster keeps expanding, and we'll probably talk a little bit more about that in the coming weeks. But
Also for WWE, I think they got one of the New Japan Pro Wrestling.
yeah, Kushida's coming over to NXT, and he'll be there for at least 1 year. William Regal kind of said, I wouldn't be surprised if he's our champion by the end of the year, so that's kind of exciting. Kushida is a big name in New Japan Pro Wrestling. The weird thing was, I was under the impression that he was going to be quitting wrestling altogether because of a neck injury, but that just shows you how kayfabe things can be in the wrestling industry, and sometimes they use injuries as a way to kind of get out of storylines. And so now he pops up a couple of months after they said he wasn't going to be wrestling anymore, and he's in America on NXT. So very good. I think he'll probably wind up after NXT going to 205 Live, and he'll probably have a good career there, even though you can only see 205 Live on the WWE Network. And so if you don't have that,
NXT.
yeah, same with NXT. So if you don't have that, then you don't have any idea who any of these people are. Ricochet and Aleister Black, though, have been doing an amazing job.
You should know, if you watch Raw or SmackDown, who Ricochet and Aleister Black are. And
Yeah.
if you don't,
How about
how come you're not watching it?
right? How about next week you fill everybody in on who Ricochet and Aleister Black are? Okay.
Okay.
All right. You do some research on them. You let them know kind of where they came from and what they're projected to be doing. Okay. We'll do that.
Yeah.
Sound good?
I already know two of the things I need.
There we go. So you save that for the next week. And you got anything else?
Not really.
Okay. Good show, dude. Excellent show, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, not excellent, but good show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll take a good show every now and again. Guys, thank you so much for watching All Things Action. Videocasta. I'm Dad, a.k.a. Aaron, and with me this week was...
Raiden, aka the Bear.
Guys, thank you for watching again. Have a great week. We will see you next week with another great edition of All Things Action Videocast. Until then, goodbye.